keep it 100 because it's time for Hub's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hub.
Good morning, everybody. Man, today is Saturday, December 15th, 2018, and you all know what time it is. It's time for us to deliver the remaining Week 15 picks for the National Football League. Coming off Thursday night, I am undefeated on Thursdays. Like I said, I predicted the Chargers was going to win. I thought they was going to beat the Chiefs, and they did. I mean, it looked kind of shaky in the beginning, man. But you know, the Chargers, man, they kept fighting, man. They hung in there. You know, they pulled it off at the end. Gutsy call. You know, to go for it for two at the end. I was sitting there screaming. I'm like, kick the field goal, kick the field goal, kick the field goal. But you know, they ran that play, and Mike Williams wide open, you know, to convert the 2-point conversion, which is, you know, that was just poor defense by the Chiefs. And that's what I've been, you know, saying over the past few weeks is that, yeah, you know, these teams with these explosive offenses, you know, but their defense is very suspect, you know, and that's going to show a lot when we get into, you know, like January, especially like right now we're looking at seeding, because right now the Chargers can very well, you know, win that AFC West division and end up locking up a top seed in the AFC instead of being a wild card right now. You know, you got the Chiefs. They're going to be traveling to Seattle next week to take on a very tough Seattle Seahawks team at home. So, you know, it's just going to be very, very rough for them next week. New England, on the other hand, they have the Steelers coming up on Sunday. That's a huge matchup between the 2 seed and the 4 seed, you know, and it's a must win for both of these guys. So we're gonna break all this stuff down and looking at, you know, the matchups for the day. You know, we got the Texans taking on the New York Jets, and that's where we're going to start at today. The Texans was upset, you know, by the Colts last week, you know, and the Jets got a win over Buffalo on last Sunday. The Texans here are looking to keep hold of the 3rd seed in the AFC, so they have plenty to play for today. As the Jets are basically out of playoff contention, but they're looking to play spoiler. You know, I think the Texans defense will be too much to handle for Sam Darnold and the Jets. Plus, coming off that loss last week, you know, they're looking to bounce back. For the Jets, man, their key to victory is to air it out. The Texans defense ranks 5 in rushing yards allowed, so I don't see you know, the Jets trying to establish the run. And also, you know, the Texans is ranked 2nd in rushing touchdowns and also 2nd in yards per carry. But I just think, you know, today, I know they're playing in New York, you know, but it's just going to be too rough for that Jets, you know, team to play against this Texans team coming in here that's going to be hungry for a win off of last week. So you can give me the Texans here, 23-10. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. Will be taking on the Denver Broncos. They'll be traveling to Denver to battle those guys. The Browns coming in off a big win over Carolina. Carolina's a sinking ship pretty much now. The Broncos, you know, they got beat, you know, last week against the 49ers. They just got dominated. That defense, man, Nick Mullins from the 49ers quarterback, man, he shredded those dudes. And George Kittle, the tight end for the 49ers, gassed him for 210 yards receiving. But ultimately, you know, they're coming back home. I think it's going to be a difficult matchup for Baker Mayfield. You know, they do have a tough defense. You know, they just was caught in a bad spot last week. You know, it happens. It's a week-to-week league. You know, the Browns defense is not a pushover either. So I think Case Keenum will have some troubles too. But ultimately, you know, I think the Broncos will pull it off and it'd be close, you know, today, 24-23. All right. Let's get into tomorrow's matchups. You know, first and foremost, we're kicking it off with the Green Bay Packers traveling to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears in the NFC North Divisional, you know, matchup. rivalry here. The Bears just looking to maintain, man. They're leading in the NFC North. They're coming off a big win last week against the Rams. Man, they shut the Rams down last Sunday night. I had picked the Rams to win, but I was saying last week, I could see, if the Bears can pull that off, and that's exactly what happened, man. Like I said, it's these high explosive teams with these explosive offense, man. You run into a good defense, man. It's gonna be it. The Packers, man, they need a win here, to keep some type of hope of getting a wild card spot. They're on the outside looking in. But I just think the Bears at home, that front seven will shut down Aaron Jones in that running game, and they're going to be in the face of Aaron Rodgers all day tomorrow. So give me the Bears. They win tomorrow. They're going to clinch the NFC North for the first time since 2010. So I'm going to take the Bears tomorrow at 17-13 over the Packers. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to Orchard Park, take on the Buffalo Bills. And this one, man, the Lions are looking to carry momentum from last week's win over the Cardinals in the Buffalo. But they're facing this tough Bills defense. I know they had a tough time last week, but they have only allowed 238.8 yards per game, since week 10, which is the fewest in the NFL. It's pretty good. I just think that the Bills defense is going to bait Matt Stafford into throwing giving them a couple of giveaways tomorrow. I'm taking the Bills in this one 24-17 at home over the Lions. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens here. The Ravens, man, they need this win here. They're in position for wild card spot. They're also a half a game back of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got a big game against New England tomorrow afternoon, but you got Baltimore. They're half a game back. So if Pittsburgh happens to lose to New England tomorrow, Baltimore is right there to take the AFC North. Tampa Bay, they're coming in. They gave New Orleans a run. Last week, the first half, it was tough. But I think this is a different defense that Jameis Winston is going to see. The Ravens has the number one scoring defense in the NFL. The Bucs, on the other hand, their rushing defense is not so good. I'm looking to see a lot out of Lamar Jackson tomorrow. In that Ravens run game, Lamar Jackson is going to get it done with his arm and with his legs. So I think that's going to be the key to victory tomorrow for the Ravens. I'm taking them at home 28-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next up, got the Arizona Cardinals, and they're going to be traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. This one. The Falcons on a 5-game losing streak, and what better way to get back, in the win column as the play a struggling, Cardinals team. The Cardinals rushing attack is 31st in the league, and they average, 14.9 first downs per game, and that's well below the league average of 20.8. And as far as that run game, man, they got David Johnson over there, and they're ranked 31st. That's just terrible, man. I just think, between these two teams, man, neither one of these guys getting into the playoffs. Falcons at home, I'm going to take them at home. They're 4-9. They're just playing for pride at this point, in front of their home crowd. So just give me the Falcons. Julio gets a couple TDs tomorrow. Calvin really gets involved. Matt Ryan going to have himself a nice day. Give me the Falcons 30-20 over the Cardinals. Next up, got the Oakland Raiders traveling to Cincy to take on the Bengals. This another one. No playoff implications in this one. The Bengals on a 5-game losing streak. Wow, again. And while the Raiders, man, they're coming off a nice win last week, against the Steelers. They beat the Steelers at home last week. This one right here, man, I'm just going flat out, I'm going to roll with the Raiders. I just think, Cincinnati's banged up. No Andy Dalton, no A.J. Green. Look like this possibly will be Marvin Lewis's last year. We all hope. I mean, he should only, should be fired since 2010 maybe. I'm just being nice. This dude should have been fired back when these guys had Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco and really wasn't getting the job done. But somehow he keeps the job. Like I said, I don't know if it's, he knows something on the organization or not, but man, it is what it is. But I'm going to take the Raiders tomorrow. I like the Raiders 24-17 over the Bengals. Next up, we got Tennessee Titans. They'll be traveling to East Rutherford, take on the New York Giants. This right here, man, if this was a home game for the Titans, I would lean on the Titans. However, they got a 2-5 record on the road, averaging only 16.4 points per game. I like the Giants in this one. I just think, Saquon, Odell, they're going to get it going for that Giants offense. Giants defense is pretty okay, but I just think, the Giants are going to get it done offensively against the Titans. The Titans struggle on the road. I'm going to look at the Giants, this one, 20-13 over the Titans. Next up, got the Miami Dolphins. We're traveling to Minnesota, take on the Vikings. The Miami Miracle was the theme last week as the Dolphins came off a big win over New England. But however, like I've been saying all year, and it's been an ongoing theme, man. All these teams that get that huge emotional win over New England, they end up fall flat the following week. And I think this is going to continue here. The Vikings fired their offensive coordinator. I think that's a better move for them. Is this going to be, like I said, I see the Dolphins falling flat. I say Minnesota, they're looking to bounce back, from getting that beat down they took on Monday night against the Seahawks. They're still in the hunt for a wild card. I just think Kirk Cousins, he's going to have himself a huge day today. The Vikings going to win 33-23. They're going to beat the Dolphins at home. And Minnesota's going to try to hold on to one of those wild card spots, man. And it's going to be a tough couple of weeks, especially in the NFC and in both conferences, man. This is like the best part of football, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at the seedings and teams that can get in, teams that's going to need help. It's going to be cool, man, these next couple of weeks, man. So make sure you guys pay attention. Next up, we got the Washington Redskins, and they'll be traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The battle of the blah. Man, we have the Jags, who we really have not been right since beating New England in week 2. And we got the Redskins, who just, banged up, relying on their 4th-string quarterback now in Josh Johnson, who's getting to start tomorrow. Jags are remaining with Cody Kessler. I don't really have to break this down. I just don't know. I'm just going to flip a coin, go with the home team. Give me the Jags at home, 14-10. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. So it's not an interesting matchup for me to, look at tomorrow. I apologize, Jaguars and Redskins fans, but I mean, it ain't nothing really there to watch. Next up, we got the Cowboys traveling to Indy to take on Indianapolis Colts. They're going to be playing in Indianapolis. This right here, man, this is probably going to be the best 1 o'clock game of the week. It might be the best game of the week. This right here, well, I don't know what the best game of the week, because we had the Chargers and the Chiefs on Thursday, and that was pretty good. But this right here might be the best 1 o'clock game of the day tomorrow. You got T.Y. Hilton and Amari Cooper, who are ranked 1st and 2nd in receiving yards since week 11. I think in this one, it's going to come down to the Cowboys secondary. They're going to be key in this one if they're going to win. Andrew Luck has thrown about 130 passes in the last 3 games, and we'll be looking to air it out more, because this Dallas front 7 is going to shut down that run game out there in Indy. I just think, for the Cowboys, their offense should still go through Zeke here. Like I said, every week he needs about 25 to 30 touches. And that's going to open up the passing game for Dak, Amari Cooper, Cole Beasley, Gallup and these guys. I think this will be a good one. I got the Cowboys taking this one 24-20, close game. I just think, the Cowboys are the better team, and they're starting to roll right now in the right direction going into, the playoffs here. Next up, got the Seattle Seahawks. We'll be traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The 49ers here, they're looking for some revenge, man, after getting blown out by Seattle a few weeks ago. I just think Seattle's still the better team, as they still hold in position to lock up a wild card spot in the NFC. Russell Wilson is looking for his 12th win over the 49ers for his career. He already has the most wins, that's 11, versus the 49ers, and is looking to add to it. I just think the 49ers will keep it close. Mullins played well last week, and looked to carry this momentum over into this game right here against, the Seattle Seahawks. But I just think the Seahawks just a little bit too much. They're going to eke out a victory here, 3 points. I'm giving the Seattle 24-21. Next up, we got the New England Patriots traveling to Heinz Field to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This happens to be the game every year. Still, this one's a big one for both AFC teams coming in this one. They're both coming off a loss. Pittsburgh on a 3-game losing streak and is looking to snap it at home. However, this New England team is coming off, the way they lost last week against Miami, that Miami Miracle. Like I said, as a fan, that was embarrassing. It's a must-win for both teams. Pittsburgh is in danger of losing this. They're in danger if they lose this one. They could find themselves out of the playoffs. With the Saints coming in next week on the schedule, and Baltimore only a half a game back. You still got the Colts and the Dolphins that's hovering around for a wild card spot. The Chargers already locked up that one. They're locked up a playoff spot. They have a possibility of getting either the AFC West or securing that wild card spot. So basically, it's only one wild card spot available in the AFC. I think it's going to be a ton of points scored tomorrow within this game. 2 explosive offense should get it going in this one. This matchup would be if Gilmore matches up on Juju. That's going to be the most likely matchup. Bill Belichick is known for taking away something the team does best. So it'll be interesting to see which wide receiver he's going to try to take away. Normally it's AB, but, over the past few weeks, Juju been balling out, so it might be Juju tomorrow. James Conner is questionable for this one. Don't know if he's going to play. It will be huge for New England if he doesn't play. That way they can zone in on, that passing attack. Of course, got Stephen Ridley talking about it's a revenge game for him now. Dude, you played for like 2 other teams since New England. Now, just chill, all right? But, New England's offense, man, they got to get rolling, And, if they do, they should have a big day, with Gronk, Edelman, and Gordon. As you all know, Edelman didn't play in the game last year, so getting him back, getting him in the fold will be huge. And also adding a new face into this mix in Josh Gordon, who's been leading the Patriots receivers. This dude's been balling out since he suited up for New England. Nothing but props for him, man. But, Brady just needs time to execute. If that offensive line hold up, he should be able to rip apart this Steelers defense, and vice versa for Big Ben. I mean, New England's defense so far these past couple of weeks, well, actually last week, they got shredded by Miami. So hopefully, these guys get it together, but I'm still going to roll New England on this one. I think it's going to be close. I'm giving it a 33-28, victory here over Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, I just think that it's a lot on the line here. It's gonna be whatever team wants it, is more hungry. I think there's gonna be a lot of explosive plays in this one. So this is gonna be a good matchup. Tomorrow afternoon, 4:25. So tune in for that one. Next up, we got Sunday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles traveling to LA to take on the Rams. At the start of the year, man, this was one of the big games of the year. However, with the injuries to Philly and most recently with Carson Wentz, he's been shut down for the year with a back injury. Even though Doug Peterson listed him as questionable, then doubtful, this dude is not playing no more this year. He's just trying to play head games with LA. But it ain't working. I mean, we all know that dude's hurt. Just chill out. So Philly's looking to Nick Foles again, to try to create that magic again from last year. I just think, Philly is too banged up, to find that same magic that they had last year. I like the Rams in this one. I see Jared Goff taking advantage of a weak Eagles secondary, and Brandon Cooks having himself a huge day. I like the Rams in this one, 38-27, as they try to get back on track after that loss last week to Chicago. That leads us into our final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Got the New Orleans Saints traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. This right here, man, the Saints are looking to lock up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. With a win here, it could be a really big help. Like I said, between them now, it's between them and the Rams right now. They got the same record, but of course, the Saints got the tiebreaker. So the Panthers, on the other hand, man, they just falling apart. They took a huge loss last week to the Browns, and now face this explosive Saints offense led by Drew Brees. So, I just think the Saints defense, will get Cam out of rhythm, and the Saints just going to pull away with this one. I just don't see it no other way, man. I mean, at times Cam Newton looks like that MVP Cam. Then sometimes, man, he looks like, man, I don't know what's going on. I just think it's the same here, man. I don't know what's going on in Carolina, but hey, man, you run into this buzzsaw in New Orleans, and it's going to happen, Monday night. I like the Saints in this one, 30-20 over the Panthers. So, those are my picks for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, last week I finished 8-8. Coming into this week, I am a 129-77-2. So I'm looking to improve on that one. So, I already got one win this week. I had the Chargers beating the Chiefs. And, like I said, I put it on the Chargers. I didn't think the game, that was a very good game on Thursday night, if you guys check that out. But we got 2 games today. Got the Houston Texans, the New York Jets. I think that starts at 3. And then we got the late game with the Browns and the Broncos. So it's a lot of NFL action today and tomorrow, so and Monday. So just tune in, check it out. That's it for me today, guys. Just want to give you guys my picks for the week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for reviewing my podcast. Continue to share this, man. Continue to share it with everybody. Let them know what's up. Your boy's on fire. And thank you all. You guys are making me this way. I appreciate it. I go as far as you guys push me to go with all your support ongoing. You give me, motivation to get out here and give you guys, drop, my sports perspective every single week. So I really appreciate you guys for that. Until next time, you all be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy a weekend of football. Enjoy all sports going on. You got Canelo fighting tonight on that app. You guys subscribe, $10 a month, or if you just new subscribers, you get it for free for the first 30 days, I believe. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll talk about it later. Until next time, man, it's your boy Hub. I'm signing out. Hub's Huddle. Peace.